Apologies for the late start. I had pre-booked plans for tonight, but anyway, a bit later back than I expected to be. We've just missed Eddie Nketiah's goal for Arsenal. That's his second goal in the Europa League. It is, in fact, what it is. I'll show you exactly what it is. It is currently. It is 1-0 to the Arsenal. Eddie Nketiah it was with the goal. Now, the Arsenal lineup is exactly as I predicted it was going to be, actually. So it's Turner in goal, Tomiyasu, Gabriel, Holding, and Tierney. The two in midfield is Lokonga and actually no, who's in midfield again? Hang on a minute. I was just looking at the lineup then. Oh yeah, Samuel Lokonga and Granit Xhaka, Fabio Vieira, Manquillos, Nketiah, and Martinelli. So that's the Arsenal team. Arsenal are in possession with Tomiyasu currently here, plays the ball back across to Gabriel, and now Rob Holding. A win for Arsenal tonight, of course, will take us to the top of Group A, above Bodo Glimt, of course, who currently lead the table with 4 points. They have played 2 games, of course. This is only our second game following that postponement, of course, of the PSV game a few weeks ago, in sort of light of the Queen's passing, of course. Manquillos there couldn't quite keep the ball in. It's just bounced off his leg. It's gone out for a throw to Arsenal on this, to Bodo, sorry, on this near side. Manquillos making his first appearance at the Emirates, of course, this season. What a debut he made over in Zurich, didn't he? He scored the goal, had an assist for the second goal, and he's just won the ball back now. Arsenal on the attack inside the penalty area. Is it going to be a second goal for Arsenal? Fabio Vieira, it's slightly under the goalkeeper. It is 2-0 to Arsenal. What a goal that was. Fabio Vieira is with the strike there. Actually, it's not. It's not. It's a good save, actually. Oh, it looked like that was going to squeeze under the goalkeeper there. It was actually a decent save by the goalkeeper for Bodo Glimt. A decent save, actually. But that was good play, that was, from Arsenal, actually. It was a lovely ball played through. And it was Fabio Vieira got on the end of it. The angle was a little bit tight, actually, on this sort of left-hand side of the penalty area. It was a bit with a tight angle, but he managed to get a shot in. Looked like it was just going to squeeze under the goalkeeper there, actually. In fact, it is 2-0. Is it Rob Holding scored that one? Sorry, me TV's gone funny at the minute. I can't get a decent. I'm not getting a decent signal now, actually. But it is 2-0. It is 2-0 to Arsenal. There has been another. Indeed, there is another goal. It is 2-0 to Arsenal. And we have played less than half an hour. It is 2-0 to Arsenal. I will just update the score for you. Is it Fabio Vieira? Was I right about that? What happened was the stream froze, and it has froze again now, actually. But it is 2-0. We can confirm it is definitely 2-0 to Arsenal. It's Rob Holding with the goal from that corner. The corner came about after the initial shot. The initial effort from Fabio Vieira was saved. It went out for a corner, and it's Rob Holding who scored the goal. Terry's in the chat there. He says 2-0 Holding. Yeah, indeed it was. We got there in the end. Couldn't quite get there. I'm not quite sure what's happened with me stream. Just give me 2 seconds. I'll try and catch up. The problem is I set it all up earlier, expecting that it would just work, and I came back and it had all turned itself off. But anyway, this is the issue. But anyway, it is 2-0 to Arsenal, which is the main thing. That's the good news. We are enjoying this victory now. Surely it will be the way we're playing this season. And, you know, Bodo Glimt, of course, is the greatest period in their history, of course, as we know. But ultimately, you know, this is the Arsenal team that's playing with a lot of confidence at the moment. And, yeah, you have to say that it's not exactly the strongest league, is it? The Norwegian league. I'm having a few issues here, actually, for some reason. I'm not really sure what's happened. Anyway, I can't actually get a figure. I don't know why. Oh, it's on now. We've got it now. Cool. So it is 2-0 to Arsenal. So we've played 29 minutes now at the Emirates. The 2 goal scorers, Eddie Nketiah and Rob Holding, two English players actually. Unusual for this, isn't it? For an Arsenal team to have two English goal scorers in the same game. Smith Rowe and Saka, it usually is. Neither of those two are playing, of course, tonight. Saka is being rested, understandably so, and of course, Emil Smith Rowe has just had an operation and he's working his way back to fitness. We probably won't see him in the side until after the World Cup. Now, you wouldn't imagine, unfortunately, for Emil Smith Rowe. But anyway, this is kind of showing in a way. I know we all feel, and I think we all feel the same, that maybe the squad depth isn't quite there, is it, for Arsenal, in terms of going for the four competitions that we're in. But then you see a team like this tonight, there's some players who can come in and do a job. My only worry is if any of these players, if any of our main players are out injured for any long length of time, would Eddie Nketiah be able to score enough goals over 15, 16 league games when we're challenging up the top of the table? You've got players like Sambi Lokonga in midfield. Are they good enough to play that number of games? So, do you know what I mean? That's what worries me. But then, you look at this team tonight and it's a decent team, isn't it? It's a good team. There's good players. We've got cover in every single position, 2 or 3 good players who can play in every position. It just worries me a little bit if we get key injuries. But I guess that's the same for every team, isn't it? Even Manchester City, imagine if they had Haaland and De Bruyne out at the same time for any length of time. That's going to be the same as us being without Thomas Partey and Gabriel Jesus, for example. So, everybody's got the same issues, really, haven't they? But, this competition is going to be a good opportunity, isn't it, for a lot of our fringe players, if you like. I mean, I don't like to look at it as a first team and a reserve team. It's a first team squad, isn't it? They're all the first team squad players, and they all should be able to come in and do a job. And they're proving in this Europa League that they are able to do that. They can come in and do a job. We won the last game away in Zurich. We're winning this game tonight as well. And looking at the group, you'd imagine that we shouldn't have too many problems qualifying through to the knockout stage again. We've got a decent record in the Europa League, actually, haven't we? A couple of semi-finals, a final, all in recent years. So, yeah, we're doing pretty well. Regenera's in the chat. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. Hope you are well. Terry says there, Richard, it's not Bodo Flash, it's Bodo Lightning. Their manager came out and said it. No, he's wrong. No, I'm sorry. No. Glimt means flash. It does. But I suppose it's a lightning flash. Yeah, maybe that's what he means. It's a lightning flash as opposed to the kitchen cleaner flash. Regenda says they have shown more attacking play than Spurs. Yeah, no, you're right. They have. I mean, yeah, Spurs did come to defend and catch us on the counter attack, but the way Bodo Glimt play, they've got a very attacking style. They play a very similar style of football to how we do, and that they don't really play any other way. Yes, obviously they're not used to playing opposition that have the quality that we are in their league week in, week out. They have won the league, their domestic league, the past 2 seasons in a row. First 2 times they've ever won it, actually. So it is the best period in their history, and they are playing well. And they've done pretty well so far, what I've seen in this game tonight. But ultimately, you've got to look at it and say that these are the sort of games, especially at home, we should be looking at winning pretty comfortably. I predicted a 4-1. I think everybody was pretty confident of a win. And we did have, of course, our Norwegian friend was on the show the other night, wasn't he? Hopefully he's enjoying his time in London. I think he was flying over on Tuesday, wasn't he? Which is good. Mark's in the chat. Hello, Mark from Auckland. Oh, lovely. What's the weather like over there at the moment? It'll be, I suppose it'll be quite nice, won't it? Because it'll be your spring, won't it, over there? We're just coming into autumn, so it's been raining today. But anyway, Terry says, Richard, what's your thoughts on the draw, Lyon, Zurich and Juventus? Yeah, it's very tough, isn't it? I mean, we said on the show, didn't we? This is for the Women's Champions League, of course. We did say on the show the last week that we didn't really want Juventus out of that sort of third pot, really, did we? But anyway, I suppose it's good that Joe can come back to Arsenal again. I know it's going to be at the Emirates this game, but it'd be nice to see Joe again, won't it? And of course, DVD as well, playing for Lyon. It's the 2 games against Juventus are going to be key, aren't they, to us getting through? If we beat Juventus at home, then by a good amount of goals, then that might be enough for us. But it's going to be tough, isn't it? It is going to be tough. It looks like it's between us and Juventus for second place, doesn't it? That's how the group's going to work out. And let's see what happens. I mean, let's hope that we can. Oh, a good save there by the goalie, actually. The Bodo goalkeeper there, Granit Xhaka's shot from the edge of the box. Another corner to Arsenal. Arsenal piling on the pressure here. It's quite an open game, actually. I say Bodo in the yellow. They've got a lot of fans behind the goal. I say our friend from the other night will be there as well. Hopefully he's having a good time, but yeah, not too good. That was a short corner actually there, and the cross came in from Eddie from Marquinhos actually. Sorry, and it's been deflected behind for another corner to Arsenal. You'd imagine Arsenal will be pretty much in control of this game. It is another corner in front of those Bodo fans behind the goal to our left as we look. It's going to be a corner coming in from that side, curled in towards the near post. The goalkeeper doesn't really get there under pressure from Gabriel, and they can't really clear it away. Tomiyasu puts it back into the 6-yard box. Eddie Nketiah is chasing this, and in fact, he's just given away a foul, and it is going to be a free kick to the Norwegian champions. Yeah, Regina says there, Bodo showing attacking play. No, they are. They're looking pretty decent. But no, Terry, in terms of the draw, yeah, I mean, I do think it's a tough draw for Arsenal. There's no doubt about that. But let's see how it goes. We've got a few injuries here, haven't we? With Leah Williamson out at a minute and Rafaela Souza out for a while. It's not looking great, is it? But let's see what happens. You know, it's going to be good. And luckily, we haven't got a game for a couple of weeks. Certainly give Leah a chance to maybe get herself fit for the Reading game. And of course, the Champions League, which starts the week after Reading, doesn't it? But at the moment, we're going to be focusing on this Europa League game for Arsenal. Of course, this victory here tonight, which is looking a lot more likely now, isn't it? We're 2-0 up. We've had an opportunity for a third goal. Kieran Tierney with a shot. Oh, it just goes wide at a far post. Kieran Tierney getting forward from the left-back position. It was a good bit of play, actually. It was played into him by Martinelli. Oh, he hit it with the outside of his foot. It was going away. It went away from the goal. From the other angle, it looked a bit closer than what it was actually. But anyway, it's gone flying behind. It is a goal kick to Bodo. We've played 36 minutes here at the Emirates. It is Arsenal 2, Bodo 0. The goals from Eddie Nketiah and Rob Holding, two players who a lot of people maybe didn't feel were good enough to still be at Arsenal, but they're still at Arsenal, and they've both scored a goal tonight. And they always come in and do a job. Eddie Nketiah's got onto a mistake there by the defender. He's going through again. Is this going to be 3-0? Oh, he tried to play it square across to, I think it was to Martinelli there, but it got deflected from a defender. Maybe he should have had a go at goal there, Eddie Nketiah. You know, he wants to score goals, and he's in the team. He's got one. He maybe should have gone for another one there. Tomiyasu's in there quickly to break up that Bodo attack. And suddenly Arsenal coming forward again, but Bodo won the ball back well. High up the pitch there, actually. Good play this was. That's from Pellegrino. Plays it out to that far side. They're on the attack now. Bodo inside the area. Pellegrino again from the edge of the box. Tries a shot. It just goes wide of the post. And that's going to be a goal kick to Arsenal. But again, Bodo looking reasonably threatening when they come forward. They're playing pretty well. They're aggressive. They're winning the ball high up the pitch. Terry says there, do you think we can score 3 more? Well, I don't think we can score 3 more. 2 more will do and 1 more for them. And Terry says, do you think Bodo will even score? Well, I mean, they look reasonably threatening, don't they? Don't forget, we've got Matt Turner in goal. And I don't really trust him at this moment in time from what I've seen of him so far, which hasn't been a lot. A little bit of pre-season, obviously, the previous Europa League game, where he didn't really cover himself in too much glory, did he, on that particular night? I didn't think he looked a bit shaky at times. And this is his first game at the Emirates, so I wouldn't be surprised if Bodo Glimt do score. But anyway, let's see what happens. Hopefully, we'll still win comfortably anyway. We do often concede at the Emirates, don't we? We haven't kept a clean sheet here since... March, I think February, wasn't it, when we beat Leicester 2-0? That's the last clean sheet we've kept at the Emirates. So we do often concede goals here, mostly, don't we? So I wouldn't imagine it's going to be an easy clean sheet for us. And Bodo have certainly attacked pretty well in this game. So I don't see any reason why they won't score necessarily. But anyway, hopefully we can score a few more. We're coming forward again on this near side with Manquillos. He's got an overlapping run from Tomiyasu. He cuts inside instead, gets the ball onto that left foot, tries a shot, but it goes high over the bar. In fact, it might have been deflected. It was deflected. It is going to be a corner to Arsenal. The Bodo fans behind that goal are getting behind their team, waving their yellow scarves. Looks pretty cool, it does, over in that corner there. But it is Arsenal on the attack again with a corner from this near side, which Fabio Vieira, it was his corner that led to the second goal from Rob Holding. So we'll see what this one brings. Rajendra says, I'm 100 seconds behind. You always seem to be behind, don't you, for some reason? I don't know how that always works out. Anyway, here's another corner to Arsenal from the near side. This time, Arsenal's left. It is going to be Fabio Vieira again with it. Number 21 for Arsenal. Curls that in towards the far post. Header comes in again at the far post. Or was it Rob Holding again? Was it coming in behind Eddie Nketiah? Or was it Eddie with the header? They both together there. In fact, it was Eddie Nketiah came around the back. He got there round the back of Rob Holding, but he couldn't keep his header. He couldn't put it on target. It's gone wide. And it is another goal kick to Bodo. The Norwegian fans are dancing and singing in behind that goal there, really enjoying their night out in London. Why not? It's one of the biggest games. It probably is the biggest game of their history, probably, isn't it? Playing Arsenal in Europe. Kieran Tierney now coming forward over on the far side, whips the ball into the penalty area, comes to Eddie Nketiah, does it? No, it's good defending there, actually. Really good defending that was. And they managed to get it away. I think that was the captain. No, it wasn't actually. Sorry. It was, I'm not sure it was actually. I haven't got the Bodo team. So I'm not really sure who their players are. But anyway, it doesn't matter. They good defending that was. It looked like Eddie was going to get on the end of that cross from Kieran Tierney, but the defender came across, got in the way, blocked the attempted effort, and Bodo did bring the ball away. Granit Xhaka has lost that in midfield, but he's won the ball back again as the referee's got his whistle in his mouth and he's given a yellow card to Granit Xhaka. I think it was for a handball, actually. Granit Xhaka, of course, is captain tonight. And Martin Ødegaard is on the bench. He thought he was fouled, actually, Granit Xhaka. And as a player went to take the ball round him because the ref didn't give it, he stuck his arm out and he's got himself a yellow card. So he will have to be careful not to get another one. Of course, September's Player of the Month for Arsenal. Brilliant form he's in at the moment, isn't he, Granit Xhaka? I always had faith in him. I always tried to back him, even when it was tough, when, you know, he wasn't playing particularly well. And, you know, what happened, of course, in that Crystal Palace game about 3 years ago now, wasn't it? And I know a lot of Arsenal fans found it difficult to forgive him for that, really. But I managed to quite quickly. I understood the reasons behind it. I didn't like what he did, obviously. And he wasn't always our best player. And I think a lot of people felt he wasn't the right player that we needed. But he's always given 110%, hasn't he? He's always been a real leader on the pitch, and I've always admired him for that. And you've got to admire the way he's turned his career around at Arsenal. You know, it would have been so easy for him to have walked away, I say 3 years ago when he came so close to doing so. But now he's so important for us. And I say he's wearing a captain's armband tonight, and I feel that's fully deserved as well. I personally feel he should be the captain on a permanent basis. But anyway, Rajendra says there, it's the view I get on the PC. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I know there's all different streams, isn't there, and stuff like that. So everyone can be at a different point in the game. There's probably people that are ahead of me. But anyway, Arsenal are in possession over on the far side. That's a ball played over the top to this near side to Manquillos. Good control actually on his chest. The Brazilian runs around the outside of the fullback for Bodo, cuts inside his left foot, gets a crossing, looking steady in Nketiah's head. But it was a Bodo defender gets there first, but it's gone out for a throw to Arsenal over on that far side. Kieran Tierney is going to take this. And it's taken quickly, plays into the near post with Eddie Nketiah. It comes to Fabio Vieira. Oh, it's just wide. Fabio Vieira looking for his second Arsenal goal. Following that great strike, of course, against Brentford a few weeks ago. It was Granit Xhaka pulled it back to Vieira. Just curled away. I think the goalkeeper may well have had that covered, actually, anyway. It was a good effort just from the edge of the penalty area there. Curled it with his left foot. Always curling away from the goal it was. And Fabio Vieira came pretty close there to getting another goal for Arsenal. He's had a good start to his career, hasn't he, Fabio Vieira? He came on at Manchester United for his debut, and although we lost that game, of course, he came on and made an impact, didn't he? Then, of course, he had an impact in the game in Zurich, where he helped to create the opening goal. And then, of course, he scored at Brentford, didn't he? So he certainly had a good start to this game as well. He got an assist already tonight in this game as well. So he's doing well. Rajendra says captain has a yellow card. He does have a yellow card. But, you know, I had this conversation the other night, actually. Granit Xhaka hasn't ever had 2 yellow cards in the game. All his red cards have been straight red cards. When he gets a yellow card, he does seem to be able to manage his game pretty well. Anyway, it's currently Bodo coming forward on this near side with their number 14, the captain, Sultanos. And they keep possession now. It's with number 22, Marius Loda. Plays it out to that far side Bodo now enjoying a little bit of possession, just slowing the play down just inside the Arsenal half. But Arsenal are totally in control of this game, Europa League Group A game. Arsenal against a Bodo Glimt Lightning, as Terry says. Flash of lightning is what their name means, and obviously Bodo is the town in the Antarctic or Arctic, isn't it? North. Is it the Arctic where they're from? Isn't it up north of Norway? Obviously, quite a cold place, so they'll be enjoying the rather warm temperatures of London, even though it's October. It is warm in London for October, certainly. We are now there's going to be a minute of stoppage time at the end of this first half, actually. It's been a decent first half from Arsenal, totally in control. Eddie Nketiah opened the scoring, and then Rob Holding headed home a second within the first half an hour. And since then, we've had one or two other opportunities to get another goal. Bodo have threatened once or twice of their own. They do look comfortable in possession of the ball. They've got a nice system of play. They just maybe lack the quality really needed to really make too much of an impact in this particular game. But this is a good run, actually. Shot comes in, it's deflected by Gabriel. Is it going to go out for a corner? No, it isn't. It's going to be kept in by Manquillos. Well, that wasn't a good clearance, actually, by the Brazilian. But he's got away with it. The ball comes back to him again. And we are in the final few seconds of this first half. In fact, it's going to be a throw to Arsenal now. Tomiyasu it was there. Good to see Tomiyasu back in the side, isn't it? He's hasn't been able to get his place back, has he, off Ben White? A little bit surprising for me. You know, Ben White's not a natural right back. And although he has been playing pretty well, Tomiyasu is the natural choice. In fact, there goes a half-time whistle. It is half-time at the Emirates. Arsenal 2, Bodo Glimt 0. The first goal was Eddie Nketiah. 23 minutes played it was when he opened the scoring, and then 6 or 7 minutes later, it was Rob Holding heading home a corner from Fabio Vieira after Vieira himself had actually won the corner with a shot, which was well saved by the Bodo goalkeeper. Those two goals coming, in fact, 5 minutes apart, the two goals. And Arsenal totally in control of this game and look as though we're going to be heading to the top of Group A this evening, which is nice, isn't it? It's a good position to be in, top of the Premier League, top of our group in the Europa League. It's not been a bad start to the season, has it? Let's be honest. It's been pretty good, actually. Terry says Vieira's had a few shots tonight. Yeah, he seems to like having a shot, doesn't he? He likes to get forward and have shots from the edge of the box, and that he got a great goal, didn't he, from similar distance. And it's good to see. We like to see players taking chances sometimes. You know, if you don't shoot, you don't score. Yeah, simple as that. And it's good to see players doing that. And yeah, Vieira, I'm sure he's going to be a really good signing for us. He's going to prove to be a good signing for us. Still a young player, isn't he? After 21 years old, he is, and he's going to get better and better, isn't he? So, yeah, he's going to be a great signing. And Manquillos as well looks a very good signing, doesn't he? He hasn't had such an impact tonight, has he, as he did in that first game. So far, it's still early days, of course, and I'm sure he's still got time to have a big impact. But yeah, Vieira certainly is doing well, isn't he? So far in his Arsenal career, looking really, really good. And yeah, looking forward to seeing a lot more of him as the season progresses. He's going to obviously play a lot of these Europa League games, isn't he? How many Premier League games he'll start, depending on the injury situation, I guess. I mean, he isn't going to be a first choice yet, is he? But he's certainly an exciting young player. And I say I'm looking forward to seeing how he develops over the course of the season as it goes on. So yeah, but it's been a decent. It's been a good night, hasn't it, for some of these younger players? I say Vieira and Manquillos in the side. It's good to see them playing. I say I'm really, really pleased to see Tomiyasu in the team. You know, what a great first season he had until his injury, and hopefully he can get himself back in the team again, because we saw how great he was last season at right back. He can also play centre back, of course, as well. A bit like Ben White. They're quite interchangeable, those two, aren't they? And it does seem as though Ben White's just got the edge at the moment in the Premier League. We're winning games, and that's probably why the team isn't going to be changed too much at this moment in time. And you can understand that kind of the old saying, isn't it? You don't change a winning team. But, you know, when you've got the squad that we've got, you know, some of these players need to be playing, don't they? They need game time, and they need to be on that pitch. And, yeah, they can't just play in the Europa League every so often. They need to be playing more regularly, don't they? And I think Tomiyasu fits into that bracket, but it's difficult, isn't it? I suppose it's a good headache for the manager to have, isn't it? Because when you've got more players in the team that players that are playing well, and it's a difficult choice. That's what you want. You don't want just to have 11 players that you've got to pick because the rest of them aren't good enough. You need to have those options, don't you? So yeah, it's good. It's a good option to have, but it's a tough choice sometimes that the manager's got to make, isn't it? But at the moment in the Premier League, we're playing well. We're top of the league. You don't make unnecessary changes there, I suppose. But these games in the Europa League are perfect, aren't they, for doing that? They are the perfect opportunity. And some of these players have got a step up, haven't they? Eddie, of course, he spoke in the press, didn't he, yesterday, about the opportunities that he wants to get, these opportunities to play, and he wants to make the most of them. He's got himself another goal. Is that 4 in a row in Europe he's got now? 4 games in a row he scored in, I think, for Arsenal in European competition, of course, going back a year or so when we missed out on Europe last season, didn't we? Rajendra says there, Tomiyasu and Manquillos need a bit of time to link back. No, you're right, of course they do, yeah. This is what I'm saying. And if they're only going to play in the Europa League games, that's not many games in a season, is it, when you look at it? So, yeah, it's a tough choice, isn't it? Because they do need to play more together to link up better. Of course they do. That's how football works, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? But, yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? It is a tough one. But it's good to see Tomiyasu playing again, and I'm sure he's going to start to really put Ben White under a lot more pressure now for that spot at right back, because I do think that right back slot is up for grabs really a little bit, isn't it? It is up for grabs because it's not Ben White's natural position, and although he is doing pretty well at the minute, I think we all would like to see Tomiyasu in the team a little bit more regularly, wouldn't we? I'm sure we would. Terry says, I don't know what made me think of this, but what about Nigel Winterburn as the Paul Davis show was amazing? What a nice guy he is. No, you're right. If any of you didn't see the Paul Davis show yesterday, I did have the Arsenal legend Paul Davis, one of my all-time Arsenal heroes, on the show. Obviously talking about his book Arsenal and After, which is a fantastic book, and he was a fantastic guest. Really, really nice, down-to-earth guy, really honest as well, and that's what the book is as well. The book's really honest. It's a really honest account of his life and his career, and if you haven't got that book yet, definitely get it, because it is amazing. You can see it in the background behind me there. It is a great book. I've actually read it twice now already, and I've only had it a month or so. So yeah, it's fantastic. So yeah, I definitely recommend that. Some really great stories in there, and I say honesty, and I say, as I said to Paul yesterday, it's a very emotional book actually. And maybe it felt more emotional for me because I experienced Paul Davis's career. He started in the first team the first season I started going to Highbury in 1981, and all the way through his career, I was going home and away most games, and his whole career was as I was growing up watching Arsenal. So maybe it felt more emotional to me because I understood it all, because I witnessed him play for so many years. So, but yeah, it's a great book, so definitely buy that. And I mean, Nigel Winterburn would be fantastic, wouldn't he? I mean, I've tried to reach out to 4 or 5 players actually, former Arsenal players. I've had 4 or 5 on the channel already up till now. Obviously, Paul Davis being the biggest name so far that I've managed to get on, and that was great. And yeah, looking at obviously trying to get a few more. It is great to chat, isn't it, to former Arsenal players, especially players that that you saw play. Paul Davis, I say, one of my absolute heroes. What a brilliant player he was, and what a brilliant guy, lovely guy he was. But yeah, definitely check that show out on the channel because it was brilliant last night if you did miss it. Rajendra says that hopefully they will show a good composure, so they may get brought on earlier in the Premiership. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? It's they just showed a goal actually. Was it Kieran Tierney shot hit the post? It was Kieran Tierney shot hit the post, and Eddie Nketiah was followed up to tap it in from about 12 yards. That was the first goal, gave us the lead. Simple finish. I mean, that's what Eddie's about, isn't he? He's a very sort of penalty box player, isn't he? He's a predator in that box. And, a lot of his goals, if you look at the goals he got last season, a lot of them were similar type of goals, wasn't they? Finishing things off in the box. And the second goal was Fabio Vieira's corner. Actually, it was headed out initially. Fabio Vieira managed to get the cross back in again. A beautiful cross, actually. Rob Holding, nice header into the bottom corner, made it 2-0. So, that was a lovely assist, actually, from Fabio Vieira. Lovely touch when that ball came back to him. Cut back inside, like that left foot. And a great cross, and Rob Holding headed it in. Gabriel was behind him, actually, when may well have got a finish as well. But in the end, it was Rob Holding's goal. An unusual goal. Rob Holding doesn't score too many, does he? He's got, what, 4 or 5 for Arsenal now. One in the Premier League, of course, against West Ham last season, wasn't it, Rob Holding? He scored a couple in the Europa League previously and in the League Cup as well, hasn't he? I think it's just the FA Cup's the only competition he hasn't scored in yet for Arsenal, isn't it? Maybe he'll get one day. Terry says there, I loved it when you had Sammy Nelson on. He was my all-time favourite. Sammy Nelson, yeah, he's a great guy as well, isn't he? He was a great guy. That was on a different channel, actually. We had him on a different channel. But yeah, he was great. And there's a lot of, this is the thing, isn't it? Now, I'm not sure whether in, say, I don't know, 15 years' time, 20 years' time, whether that some of these current players or more recent players, whether they will be willing to come onto fan channels and chat to the fans about their career. I don't know. I mean, maybe they will, possibly. I don't know. But you do feel as though these players from the older generation, they seem to appreciate the fans a lot more, don't they? You know, a lot of things that Paul Davis said last night when he was here about how much he appreciates the support that he's got from the fans, even now. And I do feel as though the modern players, I don't know if they feel that because of how separate they are, how separated they are from the fans, you know, with the way the modern game is now and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Be interesting to see how that maybe works out in the future. But, yeah, I'm certainly on the lookout to get some more former Arsenal players on. And if anybody out there has got any contacts for any Arsenal players who they think might want to come on, have a chat about their Arsenal career or their career in general, let us know, because it'd be great to get a few more people on. I really enjoyed chatting to them and getting a little bit of, you know, a feel of what they're like as a person and their perspective on their career. And I say Paul Davis yesterday was fantastic. And that book is absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, we'll see what else we can do. But, yeah, it's you know, there's a few of the current players I'd like to speak to as well, but I can't see too many of them coming on, not without paying a lot of money. Terry says, just bought the Paul Davis book, only £15. Yeah, it's a good price. It's a good book. And it's definitely worth your money. I'm telling you, it's brilliant. You'll enjoy it, Terry. Honestly, you will. I mean, I did find it so emotional reading lots of it. You know, it's just because a lot of the stuff he talks about are stuff that I remember at the time. You know, because we were there watching it. So yeah. Shane's in the chat here, Shane. Good to see you, mate. He says KT and Tommy are very close to knocking on door for first ever. No, they are. I mean, and they are probably, aren't they? Those two are the next two players for me. You know, you've got the sort of first choice 11 for the Premier League, which Arteta has got settled now, really, hasn't he? And the two positions that you feel that the strongest competition is the two fullback positions, isn't it? With Tomiyasu and with Kieran Tierney. And the good thing is you can bring them in to the Premier League and it isn't going to weaken the team or anything like that. In fact, you could say it's certainly on the right back situation, it potentially strengthens the team. So that's a good situation to have. You know, I feel as though in certain other positions, as I said before, that maybe the quality of the backup isn't at the same level. And yes, you can't have 25 players all at the same kind of level. No, even Manchester City haven't. You know what I mean? Nobody can. So, you know, it's one of them, isn't it? Where it's a tough one, isn't it? But they're the two positions definitely that I feel that we have got. We've got the best backup, haven't we, in the two fullback positions? No doubt about that. It's just elsewhere. You know, I feel maybe in the wide attacking areas as well. You know, obviously Saka and Martinelli. Maybe the left hand side we do seem to be a little without Smith Rowe being fit. Martinelli's having to play in these Europa League games, isn't he? Obviously on the right hand side we've got Saka. Now we've got Manquillos as well, who's a good backup, isn't he? Is he quite ready for the Premier League? Maybe not yet, but he's a decent backup, isn't he? And obviously in midfield we've got Lokonga. I'm not quite sure about him yet. He's all right, isn't he? He's good. And El Neni, of course, when he's fit. We've got Adam, the Arsenal Social, in the chat. How you doing, Adam? Good to see you, mate. He says, evening all. How you doing? Good to see you. I hope you are well and enjoying the game. It's nice to have a game that's a little bit more relaxed, isn't it? You know, it's nice to have that situation in the Premier League at the minute. All the games are quite stressful, they're quite tense, and we've, you know, especially the North London derby, wasn't it? We had Man United recently, and they've all been quite tense games, haven't they? So it's nice to have a game that's a little bit more relaxed and a nice controlled victory for Arsenal, which is what it's been so far. But of course, we're back into the stress again, aren't we, on Sunday when Liverpool come to the Emirates? We know what a tough game they are. Terry says there, Richard, you've been a big time. You've been in trouble. Yeah, there was a few stupid messages in there that we just had to get rid of. So yeah, unfortunately, that's what happens, isn't it? It's one of them things. Well, we can't do anything about that. But yeah, if people want to do that, I don't know why, wasting their time really, are they? But anyway, it's all good for the channel because the more interactions that we get, the better it is. So if you want to come in and spam us with some ridiculous messages, that's fine. We'll just delete them, we'll block you, but it's still extra interactive for the channel, isn't it? So you're helping us as well. So thanks for being involved, really. But yeah, just good. Adam says they just made it home. Assume the first half was pretty straightforward. Yes, it was pretty straightforward. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we could have scored a couple more goals. But Bodo aren't a bad side. I've got to be honest. They've got attacking intent. They're coming to play football. They're on the front foot. They've had one or two little opportunities, and fair play to them. They've given it a good go, and they're a nice team to watch. They haven't come to the Emirates to defend. They've got a great lot of fans behind the goal over on the clock end, and they're getting quite excited, and they're attacking that end in the second half now. The team's just coming back out, and if they were to score in front of their fans, I'm sure that would make their night, wouldn't it? But they've given it a good go, Bodo. I've been impressed with them. I quite like the yellow kit as well. Looks pretty cool. But yeah, obviously we've been the better team. We're comfortably in front, and I'm sure in the second half we'll add a few more goals. We've got quite a strong bench, haven't we? The big names are there: Thomas Partey, Gabriel Jesus, Martin Odegaard, all on the bench. So we have got options, of course. Don't really want to use it, let's be honest. We don't really want to risk any injuries ahead of that really big game on Sunday, of course, against Liverpool, where I think that if we were to beat Liverpool with all the results we've had so far, maybe a few people, including myself, will maybe sit up and say, you know what, maybe a title challenge isn't out of the question. Whether we can, Manchester City, we know how good they are. In particular, their little centre forward, who's he's not bad, is he? He's only a small fella, isn't he? Not very quick. He's not too bad, is he? Anyway, we have kicked off the second half. Arsenal coming forward down this near side with Gabriel Martinelli showing some great pace. Actually, he's got to the byline. Can he get the ball across the box? He can. It falls to Granit Xhaka. Has he scored again? No, it's saved by the goalkeeper. A follow-up header from Manquillos. Granit Xhaka was almost going to score there for the second game in a row. It's not very often he's done that. I mean, when he first joined, he scored in the League Cup, didn't he, against Nottingham Forest, and in the league against Hull. Might have been the other way around. I think the whole game was first, and then the Nottingham Forest game was afterwards. He scored in 2 games in a row. Then he's not done it since, but he came very close there. It's a good save by the goalkeeper, and it was Manquillos with the follow-up header, put it wide when he maybe could have done a little bit better. Actually, he's not quite been as good tonight as Manquillos as he was away in Zurich a few weeks ago. And he maybe could have done a little bit better there with that header. It did come to him quite quickly from the goalkeeper, but he should have hit the target, perhaps. Instead, he's put it wide. Anyway, Adam says there, thought we were playing Sutton when I turned on the TV. Yeah, I remember that game in the FA Cup. They wore yellow kit as well, didn't they? And that was a 5-0 victory. No, that was 2-0 away, wasn't it, in Sutton? It was 5-0. We beat Lincoln at home, didn't we, in the next round? DV7 says, yep, lovely indeed. Yeah, it's been lovely just to sit and relax and watch Arsenal without any stress. Terry says, I hope they do score 1 and us 3 more. Yeah, but, you can't begrudge them a goal. Their fans have been great, and they've come and give it a go, which I like. And yeah, we need another couple of goals, don't we, just to seal the victory. And then maybe let them have one at the end, just to give their fans something to cheer. Our guy who was in the chat the other night, I've forgotten his name now. I just remember it was the name of, was it, what was his name? I know it was the same name as I remember a Manchester United player having Henning, that was it, Henning, who was in the chat the other night, a Bodo fan. It'd be nice for him to have a moment to cheer, won't it? One of the biggest moments in their history, probably, won't it, Bodo? They've not been a particularly successful team up until the last couple of years. They've just given the ball away, actually trying to play it out from the back. The goalkeeper there, a poor ball out. Kieran Tierney now plays the ball to Granit Xhaka on his near side, whips across in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, but it's cleared away. It's going to be another throw to Arsenal. Bodo under a little bit of pressure at the start of the second half. Arsenal coming out looking for more goals. It was Martinelli there, put the ball across the box, but in fact it's gone out of play. It is going to be a goal kick, to Bodo. But Martinelli's had a good start to this second half, a couple of good runs down this left-hand side. He almost set up a goal for Granit Xhaka a few moments ago. It was a good save, actually, by the goalkeeper. And, yeah, Bodo have been under a little bit more pressure at the start of this second half. You do feel if Arsenal get a third goal quite early here, we could go on and get those 2 or 3 more that Terry's mentioning there. But let's get the third goal first and go from there. Sambi Lokonga now in possession for Arsenal over on the far side. Threads the ball through, looking for the run of Eddie Nketiah. He gets there. Eddie Nketiah, the linesman's flag stayed down. He looks so he may have been offside, but obviously he wasn't. And then there's a foul conceded there by Albert Sambi Lokonga, and it's going to be a free kick to Bodo and Manquillo. So just being told off by the referee there for encroaching. But anyway, Terry says there, Martinelli, it must be due a goal. Yeah, he hasn't scored for a little while, has he? He's got 3 goals this season in the Premier League. Of course, he got our very first goal of the season, didn't he? At that Crystal Palace game all those weeks ago. Started off the season. Almost a poor back pass there from Rob Holding, the striker there. Espridoj got on the end of that almost, but it was Matt Turner came out and cleared the ball away. And appearance in the side. He did, of course, make his debut away in Zurich in our previous Europa League game, which, of course, finished in a 2-1 victory. Eddie Nketiah with the winning goal that night. He got the opening goal tonight, Eddie, but it is currently Bodo in possession just in front of their own penalty area, knocking the ball around at the back. And Eddie is trying to close them down, pressing high up the pitch, and Granit Xhaka as well. This new licence, he's got to go forward. The Swiss captain tonight for Arsenal. He's called captain of Switzerland as well. He's just won the ball back there for Arsenal. He thought he was fouled, but instead Bodo can come forward. An opportunity there, but Kieran Tierney reads that well, plays it back to goalkeeper Matt Turner, who then goes long up the far side. But actually, it's not a great clearance, and Manquillo couldn't keep it in, and it's bounced out for a throw to Bodo. Which Bodo Glimt apparently means lightning, according to Terry, but I thought he meant flash, but it's probably a lightning flash, isn't it? Anyway, we will call them flash. The ball is now back with the Bodo goalkeeper and just plays it square out to that far side. Bodo all in yellow with black numbers. Very, very smart looking kit, I have to say, and their fans look great in yellow behind that goal, which they're attacking now over on that far side. They would love to see their team score on the edge of the box. A shot comes in, but it's straight at Matt Turner. That was a good effort there from Veltesen there for Bodo from the edge of the box. He just a little bit of space, but he couldn't get the direction on it or the power really, and it went straight through to Matt Turner. Pretty comfortable save, you have to say, for the Arsenal goalkeeper. He's got the ball now at his feet. Put a little bit of pressure, but manages to get it out to Granit Xhaka, who's everywhere at the minute. Well, he's been everywhere all season, hasn't he? Pops up there with that ball, and Turner again goes up that far side looking for Manquillo. Said he was fouled, but in fact the referee says no. And Bodo are back in possession again. They've settled down now in the second half. They were under a lot of pressure right at the beginning. We've played 51 minutes, and they've just started to get a little foothold in this second half, Bodo. And they did have that opportunity just a few moments ago, which Vettelsen there shot straight at Matt Turner. So yeah, they're starting to settle down and play their football. The Norwegian champions. It's a big night for them, isn't it? In Europe, this small club from northern Norway, near the Arctic Circle. So yeah, it'll probably feel really, really hot conditions for them playing in London in October, but. We do go, of course, to Bodo next week, don't we, for the return game? That's going to be fun. Apparently, our friend Henning, the Bodo fan who was in the chat the other night, said it was about 9 degrees in Bodo earlier this week. So it's not going to be freezing cold, is it? It's going to be cold, obviously, a lot colder than it is currently in London. But it's not going to be. Do you remember that game we played in Sweden, Östersund, a few years ago when it was like minus 20 degrees or something, wasn't it, when we played the away leg? It won't be anywhere near that sort of conditions. Anyway, Arsenal just won the ball back high up the pitch again from Kieran Tierney, but Bodo do manage to survive and get that away. And they are trying to come forward themselves. It's high risk football from Bodo, isn't it? And probably in their Norwegian league, they probably get away with it, and that's why they've been so successful. But obviously, coming up against a better standard of opposition in the Europa League, and obviously in Arsenal in particular, they're maybe not getting away with it as much. But they are coming forward now. This is a good run, actually, a really good run. Bodo looking dangerous here, looking to try to get a goal back, which would send their fans behind that goal. They would go mad, wouldn't they? We've got John in the chat there. John Aiden, mate, good to see you. He says, just found your channel. I'm an Arsenal fan since 1971. Oh, you really well. I mean, if you're an Arsenal fan from a long time ago, then we've got a show that we do every couple of weeks or so called Highbury Matters, and it's just looking back on the great times from from days gone by. We've got next Wednesday, actually, we've got a show. We're looking at sort of the early 70s, actually. So it'd be definitely worth watching that. It'll be on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. You might enjoy that one, John, because it's a great show anyway. And of course, we do all the new stuff as well. You've got a few years on me. I was only 3 years old in 1971. I first came to Highbury in 81, actually, 10 years after you. But it's good to have you on board, and hopefully you'll enjoy what we do. Don't forget to subscribe as well; it'll be great, and give it a like. It's good to see you. Good to have you on board. Adam says there, Bodo score for fun at home. They done Roma 6-1 at their place last year. They did, yeah. They beat Celtic as well, didn't they? I think it was it 3-1 or something. So yeah, they can certainly. You can see why they'd score goals at home. You know, the way that they play, they're an attacking team, aren't they? And they've got one or two half-decent players, let's be honest. And they've given a good account of themselves tonight. John says their Bodo fans seem happy enough. No, they do. They're enjoying themselves, aren't they? And I say we did have a great Bodo fan on the show the other night, actually. Henning, he was great. And he's actually in London tonight watching the game in with those Bodo fans behind the goal. John says they're great stuff, and thanks for welcome. No problem at all. I hope you enjoy what we do. So it's good to have you on board. You know, we're a bit more older fans on this channel ourselves. You know, we've been around the block a little bit, and we enjoy it. Arsenal now trying to come forward up this near side. Martinelli, then was he caught again actually on the back of his ankle? In fact, he was. And the referee's going to give a free kick. I don't think it's going to be a red card this time, as it was, of course, to Emerson Royale for Tottenham at the weekend. There was also a foul on Martinelli. This one was from behind, and the referee's just going to give a free kick. So yeah, maybe not quite as bad as Saturday's one. Let's hope he's not too badly injured, actually, Martinelli, because he does take a lot of stick, doesn't he, on the pitch from the opposition players. You know, he's a great player, and they need to keep him quiet. Adam there says welcome to John as well. Yeah, it's good to get new people involved in the show, isn't it? It's really good. Regenda says Arsenal are giving some chance, but yeah, we've maybe I'll say it's a mixture of us maybe dropping off a little bit and Bodo actually stepping up their game, and they're playing well. Bodo, I'll say I've been impressed with what they've produced tonight, actually. And they're coming forward again down this near side, looking to get a goal back. I say for them fans behind the goal, you almost want them to score a goal at some point for the fans who have been brilliant. But obviously not quite at this point in the game, because making it 2-1 would make it a little bit nervy, wouldn't it? So we certainly don't want them to score yet. Maybe wait until we've got another couple of goals first, and then we'll maybe let them score a bit later on. John says there, I'll spread the word. Your live coverage is excellent. Oh, thank you very much, mate. That'd be really appreciated. So the more new people we get involved, the better. You know, we do like when new people come into the channel and stuff like that. And it's good that you're enjoying what we're doing. But yeah, Bodo have played well in this game. They've given it a good go, and I'll say fair play to them. You know, but we need to maybe just refocus a little bit. We've got a little bit sloppy in this second half, actually. And we've allowed, as Rajendra said there, we've allowed Bodo one or two little chances, and yeah, we just need to tighten up a little bit, don't we? And get a grip back on the game, get the third goal, and then you'd imagine, wouldn't you, if we do get the third goal, that will probably make the difference, won't it? We're being trolled again in the chat. I do apologise. You block people and they come back anyway, but we will just do the same again. But as Terry said, you know, it means that we must be doing something right to get trolled, mustn't we? I suppose. But anyway, we've played 57 minutes here at the Emirates. It is still Arsenal 2, Bodo 0. Adam says that we've got a new sponsor. It seems like it, doesn't it? Unfortunately, they're not paying us. So if they pay us, I'll put their adverts back on. But until they start paying, they can bugger off. Regenda says, tracking back and giving them too much room. Yeah, we've just dropped off a little bit, haven't we? In the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes, and we've allowed them a few little opportunities. And if they did score now, you'd have to say that I would be a little bit concerned that maybe it's a good save from Matt Turner actually. That was from their number 7 Pellegrino, the player I featured actually in my preview of the game. He looked like he scored a lot of goals. I think he's got 20, 27, 28 goals this season. Bearing in mind, of course, the Norwegian season sort of runs from spring to, or our spring to autumn, really, doesn't it? Because of the weather. So yeah, they're kind of more into their season than what we are. In fact, they're 3/4 of the way through. But he scored 20 or 30 goals, Pellegrino, and he nearly got one there actually. John says there looks like taken for optics. So yeah, we have. We seem to have done, but I want to give Bodo credit for that. I just think that they've stepped up their game. Anyway, we're making some substitutions now, and Arteta's seen enough. He's bringing Gabriel Jesus on for. I know Martinelli's just gone off since that tackle he just had. Actually, Granit Xhaka's going off as well. Another great performance from Granit Xhaka. He doesn't often get taken off, does he? But he's getting taken off tonight. And Bukayo Saka's coming on. Martin Odegaard's coming on. And Manquillos is going off as well. Not Manquillos' night tonight, was it? Unfortunately, he played well in the previous game. Wasn't quite his night tonight, but we know he's got a lot of potential, and he just needs a bit more time, doesn't he? But his game tonight is run. Xhaka's gone off, and who else went off? Oh, Martinelli, of course, yeah. So Gabriel Jesus and Nketiah are both playing now up front, and they were talking about that, wasn't they? In his interview yesterday, Eddie Nketiah saying that he can play with Gabriel Jesus, and obviously for him to play more in the Premier League, he's going to have to play more with Jesus, isn't he? Because you're not going to play Eddie over Jesus, so they need to play a bit more together. They're going to get half an hour, just over half an hour in this game tonight to link up again, and let's see if it can produce a couple more goals. We've got a comment there from Al Plus Sound, says, I'm watching from Kenya. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're really well. If you are new, please consider subscribing to the channel. Give us a like as well. Why not? Adam says triple sub. Yeah, it was a triple sub there. And they're playing out from the back. Bodo again, high risk play, but they've got away with that one again. And the ball's now back with the goalkeeper. John says there, couple of nice players with Bodo. Their keeper not bad. Yeah, I think they've played really well actually. I didn't know anything about them before this game really. I researched them a little bit for my preview video, but I didn't know too much about them. But they've impressed me actually. They've played well and they look a decent side. But Eddie now inside there, is it going to be the third goal? Oh, he tried to pull it back. Kieran Tierney far forward actually there. But Bodo again have defended pretty well. They've certainly given everything, haven't they? Their big day, or their big night, sorry, in London, they've given everything for this game. And you have to say they have played well. But Arsenal coming forward now, looking a little bit more energised with those 3 substitutions, actually. Gabriel really far forward, but we've lost the ball. And Bodo now can look to launch a counter-attack, actually. Velterson there coming forward now, and they've got the ball on this near side with Zigala. It's a good run, actually. Tries to play the ball through. Good defending, actually, from Rob Holding. But yeah, Bodo have certainly played a lot better in this second half. There's no doubt about that. But Arsenal now looking to come forward over on that far side with one of the substitutes, Bukayo Saka. He plays it back to Tomiyasu. So Arteta isn't resting the big guns, is he, if you like, ahead of Liverpool. He's giving them a good half an hour in. Martin Odegaard, another of the substitutes now in possession, finds Gabriel Jesus, who's playing off this left-hand side now, actually. Since Martinelli's gone off, so it's just a straight swap. Actually, Jesus is playing on the left hand side. He's in the possession again. Plays the ball into Martin Odegaard. He was looking for the 1-2, but he was fouled, the Brazilian, and it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal on this near side, about 5 yards in from the touchline, just about in line with the penalty area. He was caught there by the fullback there, Samsted, and it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal. So on this left-hand side, it's about 10 yards in from this near touchline and about 15 yards outside the penalty area. It's going to be Fabio Vieira to take this. Rob Holding's in there again. He fancies another goal, Rob Holding, and why not? He's got himself one tonight and he wants another one. fact, the free kick goes short to Gabriel Jesus. He's done well, Gabriel Jesus, but was he fouled? No, he wasn't actually. And again, Bodo can come forward with the ball. That's an ambitious run there from Pellegrino, but he's done well. Oh, he almost threaded the ball through. Good defending that was from Kieran Tierney. That was good play from Pellegrino, actually, the Norwegian, the top scorer for Bodo in the last couple of years. He's played well tonight, and he almost created an opportunity for himself there, actually. But good defending it was from Kieran Tierney. But Bodo still in possession over on that far side, looking to find a way back into this game. They've probably been the better side for much of the second half, actually, you've got to say, and give them credit for that. But Arsenal still look dangerous whenever we come forward. And now, of course, we've got the big guns on. We just won the ball back again. Bukayo Saka on a run over on that far side. Is this going to be the moment for the third goal? Finds Martin Ødegaard. Now it's Fabio Vieira inside the area. He's a little bit wide. Puts a cross in. Finds Martin Ødegaard. A little bit of space inside the box. Oh, he maybe could have shot earlier, but he hasn't. Instead, he plays it square to Sambi Lokonga. It's out to Eddie Nketiah over on that far side, Arsenal's right. And he just manages to keep possession there. Arsenal maybe didn't make the most of that counter-attack, actually. We won the ball high up the pitch, and we had one or two opportunities to shoot, and we didn't. We are still in possession, though, but Bodo have got their shape back. And Rob Holding now inside the centre circle for Arsenal. Plays it square to Gabriel. That's a long ball out to that far side. It's not a very good ball. And again, Bodo clear it away. They're coming forward now through the centre on the counter-attack. This is good play from the Norwegians, actually. They've got a couple of players over here. This could be a dangerous moment for Arsenal. Oh, good defending there. Gabriel Jesus got back. He wasn't the best ball, actually, it has to be said. But they had a player over on this near side. But Jesus did his defensive duties for the team. And Arsenal have won a free kick now. Martin Ødegaard has been fouled just outside the Arsenal penalty area. Martin Ødegaard has now got the armband on since replacing Granit Xhaka in the team. About 5 minutes ago. We've played 63.5 minutes at the Emirates. Arsenal 2, Bodo 0. Those 2 goals in 4 minutes midway through that first half from Eddie Nketiah and Rob Holding, but we haven't really threatened a third goal much in the second half, it has to be said. There was one big opportunity for Granit Xhaka right at the start, a good save from the goalkeeper, but other than that, Bodo have given as good as they've got, actually, in this second period, and fair play to them for doing that. Martin Ødegaard now inside the centre circle, plays the ball to this near side, Kieran Tierney, a little bit of space, pings it forward to Gabriel Jesus, who does well, finds Martin Ødegaard, and then plays it square to Rob Holding inside the centre circle again, plays it out to that far side to Tomiyasu, the Japanese fullback, back in the side tonight. Not really been playing much this season, has he, so far? Lost his place to Ben White, of course, for the Premier League, but Arsenal now coming forward. Is it going to come to Jesus? No, it's not. It runs through to the goalkeeper instead. Kaikin, the Russian goalkeeper, and Bodo will try to come forward again themselves on this near side. That's nice play again. They've played some nice football, neat and tidy football, actually, Bodo, in this game. Shane says there, Bodo right back, he's close to getting a second yellow. Yeah, he's committing a lot of fouls, isn't he, actually? He's just committed another one now. In fact, he hasn't. He's just won a foul, actually. It was Jesus that fouled him. He has committed a couple, actually, hasn't he? But yeah, I think they're playing well, actually. I want to give them a lot of credit because they look a decent little side. And they're now my second favourite team in this group, of course, behind Arsenal. But yeah, hopefully they'll go on. They've got a good chance to qualify, haven't they? If they can, if they play like this in the other games, you can see them picking up enough points to maybe finish second behind us and qualify for the knockouts. That'd be a big achievement for them, wouldn't it? Last year, of course, they did well in the Conference League, didn't they? They got to the quarterfinals, I think it was, of the Conference League, knocking Celtic out on the way. So, you know, they are a decent team. So if anybody was going to be underestimating them, then certainly that wouldn't be a good idea to do so. And they've certainly played well in the second half. But Arsenal now coming forward, or a little dummy there from Jesus. Can Eddie Nketiah keep it in? He can't quite manage to. But that was nice play, actually. Really good stuff. John says there, Jesus has transformed Arsenal. He gives 100%. And when we see Richarlison cost 65 million, Jesus was a steal. No, he has transformed us. You're absolutely right. And that's been one of the big things for me, actually, seeing that's the difference, isn't it? Really. Zinchenko, to a degree as well, who's come in and done well. But yeah, Jesus has given us that extra, an extra sort of taken us to extra level, hasn't he, in the attacking end of the pitch. You know, you could see that when Aubameyang was playing, And as the style of football evolved from, the cup final team when Aubameyang scored those 2 goals, when it sort of evolved the season after that and the style of play evolved, and you could see how Arteta wanted his strikers, the role he wanted them to play. Aubameyang, it wasn't suited to him, was it? He couldn't do it very well. And it affected his goal output, and it affected his mood, and it affected everything. And of course, we know what happened to him. Lacazette then came into the team playing that role, and again, it didn't really suit Lacazette, did it? Lacazette was maybe slightly better at that role than Aubameyang, but he didn't score the goals, did he? And now we've got Jesus, who actually fits it perfectly. He fits that style that Arteta wants his centre forward to play. The work rate, dropping deep, linking the play, but also having that extra quality in the box and finishing things off. And that, 5 goals in the Premier League he's got already, which is a brilliant return. And, you do think, don't you, if he plays, most games in the Premier League, he's going to get 20, 25 goals, isn't he? He's not going to win the Golden Boot, probably, is he? Because Haaland's probably got that wrapped up, but he's going to have a good first season with us, and you can see the difference that he's made. Let's just hope that he stays fit and can continue to have the impact that he's made, because he's been absolutely brilliant. There's no doubt about that. And I say 5 goals already in the Premier League in 8 games. Not too bad, is it? That's a decent return, that, isn't it? Long may it continue. But Bodo coming forward again. They are playing well. They've got the ball on this near side. Can they pull a goal back, which would make it a bit more nervy, wouldn't it? But again, Kieran Tierney's defended well. And it was Gabriel completes that clearance. They're looking for Jesus, who's playing a lot more of a defensive role, actually, since he's come on. They've left Eddie Nketiah as the main striker. And Jesus is dropping more. He's coming to the Martinelli role on the left-hand side, but he's actually doing a lot more defensive work than normally he would do, because they've sort of Eddie up there. And Ben White's coming on actually now as well. It looked like it was a rush substitution, maybe. I don't know if there's an injury to somebody. I haven't noticed anything, but Ben White's going to come on as well. Tony's in the chat there. He says, a great job commentating on the game. Keep up the great work. No, thank you very much, Tony, for your support, mate. Good to see you in the chat. Hope you're enjoying what we're doing, and please consider subscribing if you are. John says here, Bodo will take points off other teams in the group. So it'd be good to get these people. No, you're right, they will. I mean, they already have, haven't they? They got 4 points when they're opening 2 games. They drew with PSV away from home. So, they're a decent team. Let's get it right. This will be a good victory. And it's going to be tough next week away from home over there. It's going to be really tough, actually. I really think it's going to be. But anyway, let's see. They're coming forward again. Oh, that was good play, actually, from Tomiyasu. Good defending. Pellegrino it was. Who's looked lively, actually. He was the player I highlighted in my preview, and he's actually playing really well. And he's looking dangerous. And he did well there, but he did just commit that foul there on Tomiyasu. And it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal. I'm not quite sure if Ben White's coming on for Tomiyasu. He certainly doesn't look injured, Tomiyasu. He looks... but I think he is coming off. Tomiyasu is coming off, actually. We played nearly 70 minutes. In fact, no, isn't it? It's Kieran Tierney coming off. Sorry. Kieran Tierney's coming off. He played well tonight, Kieran Tierney, actually. He's done well. But he's coming off, and Ben White's coming on. It looks as though Tomiyasu is going to come across to play left back. And Ben White's going to go and play right back, of course, where he's been playing in the Premier League. That looked as though it was pre-arranged. There was a little nod there from Tomiyasu, as if to say he knew what was going to happen. So they must have pre-planned that maybe at half time. But we have got 20 minutes to play, and Ben White's gone over to right back, Tomiyasu at left back, and Kieran Tierney's gone off. So to have a rest. Again, not quite sure how fit he is, Kieran Tierney, if I'm honest, still. But yeah, I thought he had a decent game tonight, defended well, got forward when he could, hit the post, of course, to set up that first goal in the first half, did really well with that. So yeah, he's done well, Kieran Tierney. And he's, as Rajendra said a bit earlier in the chat, he's going to be starting to put a little bit of pressure, isn't he, on Zinchenko, who seems to have got that left-back position in the Premier League, certainly wrapped up at this moment in time, and he's been playing really well, hasn't he, let's be honest. There's no doubt about that. He's been a great signing as well. If you get players from Manchester City that have won a lot of Premier Leagues, they're going to have something about them, haven't they? And both of those 2 players have done really well. But now Bodo again are coming forward. There's an opportunity here on the edge of the penalty. Are they going to get a chance for a goal? A shot comes in. Good defending actually from Gabriel. Block that, but still Bodo coming forward inside the Arsenal penalty area. Shot comes in. Oh, it's just over the top. It was a shot there from the captain, Saltnes. In fact, I think there may have been an offside anyway in that. But again, a dangerous attack from Bodo Glimt. I think he was just offside actually when that ball was played in. The first shot was well blocked by Gabriel, and then the second effort was just wide there from the captain. I did Matt Turner get a hand to it potentially, but anyway, it doesn't matter because it was an offside anyway, and it was a free kick to Arsenal. But you do feel as though a goal may be coming for the Norwegians. They've certainly played well in this second half. Oh, they're back again. Look, here we go. Like I say, if you want your comments to stay up there, pay us, and they can stay. Quite simple. You're not advertising for free. Anyway, they're making some substitutions now. Bodo as well. Number 32 is going off, which is Nino Zagola, and he's going to be replaced by number 9, who is Ola Solbakken, a Norwegian player, a striker. And the other substitution is Veltesen's gone off. He had a good chance, didn't he, to score earlier, and Grondbeck is coming on. So a couple of changes there for Albert Grondek, the Danish midfield players, has come on as well there for Bodo. So they've made another couple of substitutions there as well, trying to freshen things up. They'll certainly feel that they can get a goal back in this game. And who knows, there's still just over 15 minutes to play, sorry. If they was to get a goal now, it would certainly be a bit of a nervy finish, wouldn't it? So Arsenal just need to step it up a little bit. We've dropped off in this second half, there's no doubt. And I know Arteta's brought them substitutions to try to get a little bit more from us. But we're coming forward now. Maybe this is the opportunity to get the third goal. Gabriel Jesus tries to whip a cross in from his left-hand side, but well defended actually there from Samsted. He's going to be a corner though to Arsenal. We just need to get this third goal, don't we? Terry says, I'm back. Have I missed anything? Bloody trying to give me a job. What a chick. Oh, they're not when the game's on, mate. Come on. I mean, sort it out. You've missed a couple of chances that Bodo have had, actually. Arsenal have made some substitutions. The big guns are on. Jesus is on. Odegaard's on. Saka's on. Ben White's on. Tomiyasu's playing left back now. Kieran Tierney's gone off. But we have now got a corner. Rob Holding's in here again with his lovely new hair. Can he get his hair on the end of this cross from Fabio Vieira, this corner? It's an outswinger. It wasn't a great corner, actually. It's headed away comfortably there by the Bodo defence, and Sambi Lokonga now is in possession for Arsenal. Goes back to goalkeeper Matt Turner, who made a good save, didn't he, in the second half from Pellegrino, actually. That's the best chance that Bodo have had in this game. One good save from the American, getting close to his first Arsenal clean sheet. But the Bodo fans with their scarves, waving their scarves, their yellow and black scarves, looks really, really cool down at that clock end. And imagine if they score, they're going to go absolutely mad, aren't they? But anyway, it's Arsenal coming forward now with Tomiyasu, who does well. What a great little bit of play that was there from Tomiyasu. And rather than going forward, he's held up. And now he plays the ball up this near side to Bukayo Saka. Whips the first time crossing with his left foot. But it's well defended, actually, from Bodo. But Arsenal win the ball back with Tomiyasu again. Now, Bukayo Saka again. Now he's on the left-hand side. Saka done really well. Saka, can he get across it? Oh, he's just overrun it a little bit. And he doesn't actually, he's limping a little bit, actually, Bukayo Saka. Let's hope it's nothing serious, obviously, thinking ahead to the weekend and the visit of Liverpool. But he's hobbling quite badly there, Bukayo Saka. Looks like it's his right leg. He's got a little knock on there. John says, I was watching Ammonia v United and they were jammy with their win. They've been jammy with a few of their wins, haven't they? Let's be honest. I didn't see the score, actually. I was busy earlier. I'm assuming United won then, did they? But yeah, we they are. It's going to take them a little bit of time, isn't it, with a new manager and stuff like that, to really start becoming a good side. They're going to have a few ups and downs on the way, like we have under Arteta in the last couple of years. Anyway, Bodo coming forward now. It could be a difficult moment here. The ball ricochets off Rob Holding, but Matt Turner keeps it in there. Rob Holding trying to score at both ends, but that cross there deflected off Holding, and Matt Turner had to scramble across his goal. I mean, I don't think it was going in, actually, but anyway, he prevented the corner, and he's thrown it out now to Tomiyasu, who plays it in to Eddie Nketiah. That's nice. Now Bukayo Saka seems to be moving a little bit more freely, trying to get around the defender, but he hasn't managed to. And Bodo Glimt pick up the ball. Of course, it's the early game next week, isn't it? The early Europa League game away in Norway, where it's going to be rather chilly near the Arctic Circle. But Bodo are going to certainly going to be keeping us on our toes, aren't they, next week? They've certainly shown enough in this game today to suggest that it's certainly not going to be easy next week, is it? There's a clearance there from Tomiyasu, but again, Bodo picked the ball up and they're trying to come forward themselves on this near side again. And there's a foul by Martin Ødegaard. He didn't agree with it, actually, but I think it was a foul. That was a substitute, Grombeck there, who was fouled. The Danish player, of course, Martin Ødegaard, a Scandinavian, going back to his home nation, of course, next week for the second leg. Norwegian, of course, he is. Anyway, at the moment, then there is a free kick currently here to Bodo. It's sort of about 10 yards in from this near touchline, about 15 yards outside the penalty. It's going to be Pellegrini with this free kick. It's a decent ball towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Good defensive header from Tomiyasu, although Matt Turner will now come and collect, actually. He headed it up rather than out, Tomiyasu, but Matt Turner's got it. And a decent catch from the goalkeeper. He's looked a lot more solid tonight, hasn't he, Matt Turner? I thought he looked shaky in Zurich. Maybe it was first game nerves, perhaps. I'm not sure, but yeah, he's looked a lot more comfortable and solid tonight, hasn't he? His handling's been good. He's made 1 or 2 good saves. That one in the second half from Pellegrini was a really good save. So yeah, John says there it'll be tough enough at Bodo. No, it will. It'll be very tough. Any result we get there next week is going to be hard earned, isn't it? There's no doubt about that. But let's get this game finished now. Let's get these 3 points, and then at least we can go there top of the group next week in a good frame of mind. Sambi Lokonga then plays it out to that far side to Ben White. Plays it in to Bukayo Saka, flicks the ball forward to Martin Ødegaard. Is this going to be the moment? It's played in. Eddie and catches in 1-on-1 with the keeper. Oh, that's a terrible finish. Over the bar from Eddie. Oh, he's normally so good with those 1-on-1s, isn't he? He is normally so deadly with them. You'd have backed him to score there. It's lovely play from Arsenal. Saka played the ball to Ødegaard. Lovely ball through. He was onside, Eddie. A lovely run into the penalty area just to keep it to beat. And he's fired it wildly over the bar. That is so unlike Eddie. Normally he rolls them into the corner, doesn't he? But that's a terrible finish. Really, really poor that was from Eddie there. And so unlike him as well. I say that's the position where you back him to score. 9 times out of 10 he puts them away, doesn't he? But that one, he didn't. It's high over the bar into the North Bank. But anyway, Arsenal have picked up possession again following that goal kick with Gabriel. Plays it back to Rob Holding. That was a chance, really, wasn't it, for that third goal? And with, 11 minutes or so remaining, that would have sealed the victory. But we've still got a bit more work to do. That ball played up the line from Tomiyasu, who's gone out for a throw to Bodo Glimt. 79 minutes played here at the Emirates tonight. Arsenal still 2-0 up, of course. Those 2 goals in the first half from Eddie Nketiah and Rob Holding. And Nketiah has just missed a big chance to make it 3. And now Bodo coming forward again themselves. But that's a poor ball forward there from Saltnes. And it's going to go out for a goal kick just in front of all those yellow-clad Norwegians behind the goal that Matt Turner is defending in this first half. And they've got a drum there and they're dancing about, really enjoying their time in London, I'm sure. And it's going to be quite a decent atmosphere next week, I think, isn't it, over there in Norway, northern Norway, for that big game. Matt Turner just kicked the ball straight out, actually, looking for Tomiyasu on this near side. It's going to be a throw in the attacking third to Bodo Glimt, who are looking to finish this game quite strongly, actually. We haven't, even though we've brought on the so-called big guns, if you like, in the team, we've actually not played very well since we made those substitutions, actually. And Bodo have been the better team in the second half. We've got to hold our hands up and say that they have. But we're still with this 2-0 lead. And as time's ticking away, we are into the last 10 minutes now. You'd think that's going to be enough, isn't it, for Arsenal to get the job done, get the points, and move to the top of the group. And Arsenal have now got a throw on this near side. That ball up the line was out of play, and it's going to be a throw which Tomiyasu is going to take. We make another substitution. Reece Nelson is about to come on for his first appearance of the season. John says there, Turner should settle in. I suppose it's such a big step up for the Emirates. Of course it is. And it's going to take him time, isn't it? You know. And yeah, he's looked a lot more solid tonight. I've been quite impressed with Matt Turner's performance, actually. He worried me a little bit in the first game he played. Anyway, Arsenal are coming forward down that far side. Bukayo Saka played it out to Ben White. Is it going to be a corner? Ben White seems to think it should be a corner, but I think the referee has given a goal kick, and now we're going to make this substitution. It is going to be a Reece Nelson coming on for Eddie Nketiah, actually. He just missed that big chance, but he's played well tonight, Eddie. He got himself a goal. There's 2 goals in the Europa League for Eddie tonight, and he's done his job pretty well up there. But now Reece Nelson's going to come on, so you would imagine Jesus is going to go back through the middle. And Reece Nelson will probably play over on that right. In that, actually, might play on the right hand side, move Saka to the left. I would say, but Eddie's gone off now. He'd be disappointed, won't he, with that finish? You can see on his face he's very disappointed that he didn't get that another goal for himself there, because he really should have buried that. But anyway, he did score tonight, and he's got himself another goal. But Reece Nelson's on his first appearance of the season. This has got to be the time for Reece Nelson, hasn't it? You know, he's not a kid anymore. He's been at Arsenal a long, long time. He's never really made it as in the first team on a regular basis. He's had a few loans, hasn't he? This is his chance now. If he doesn't make it this season, you think that's going to be it for him at Arsenal. He'll have to move away and start his career again elsewhere. But he's on the ball now, Reece Nelson. He's actually playing on his left-hand side since he's come on, Nelson, and he's done well, actually. But Tomiyasu now in possession. Tomiyasu plays the ball back in to Martin Ødegaard, plays it forward, looking for Reece Nelson again, but that wasn't a great ball. They've managed to clear it away. John says there, let's hope they tie up the contracts with Saka and Saliba. Yeah, I mean, that's massive, isn't it? You know, how important William Saliba's been for us, and of course Saka is Bukayo Saka, isn't he? You know, we certainly don't want to lose him to a Manchester City, do we? So yeah, we do need to get these contracts done. We're hearing good news about it, aren't we? Is imminent, but until they're signed and sealed and delivered, we are still going to be a little bit worried, aren't we? They are 2 really important players in this group, aren't they? And we do need to tie them down long term. And let's hope that can be done very, very soon, because I mean, Saliba, what an impact he's made. Well, you know, he's played 8 games in the Premier League. It's like he's played his whole life there. You know, he looks he plays a lot more mature than his years, doesn't he? Brilliant stuff. And yeah, it has been important now, isn't it? We do get these done anyway. Also, are coming forward now. Martin Ødegaard finds Reece Nelson on this near side. Reece Nelson looking to take on the fullback, and he's won himself a throw in line with the penalty area. He leaves it actually for Tomiyasu. We've got 6.5 minutes to play at the Emirates. Arsenal 2, Bodo, Glimt and 0. But they've played well, the Norwegians. But Tomiyasu with that throw there finds Gabriel Jesus. Lovely play inside the penalty of Gabriel Jesus. Oh, brilliant feet from Jesus. It's across to Vieira, into the roof of the net. It's 3-0. Fabio Vieira with the goal. Couldn't really miss. That was all about Jesus there. Absolutely brilliant stuff that was from Jesus. And it is another... We took our time sealing this victory. Bodo played well in the second half, but we have got the 3rd goal. Fabio Vieira. He's had a good game, actually. A goal and an assist for him tonight. But that was about Jesus. Yeah, brilliant play down that left-hand side. Absolutely fantastic that was from Jesus. Got the ball from the throw from Tomiyasu. Beat one defender, got to the byline, cut inside, beat another defender. Lovely feet, and then set it on a plate for Vieira, who fired it into the roof of the net from about 8 yards into the empty net. That was all about Jesus. That was brilliant, that. And that just shows what we were talking about before, that extra quality that he's brought. Terry says there, Vieira 3-0. Indeed it was. Left-footed into the top corner of the empty net. There was a defender on the line, so he had to put it high, and he did. And it's a good finish. And that does seal the victory for Arsenal tonight. His 2nd goal, Vieira, already. He's got 2 goals in his very, very young Arsenal career. He is going to be a hell of a player, isn't he? And that basically seals the deal. 5 minutes to play plus stoppage time. Arsenal 3, Bodo 0, and goal from Fabio Vieira. Great work from Gabriel Jesus in the build-up to that. But Bodo coming forward again. John says they're great finish. Well, it was a great finish. Yeah, sometimes them ones into the empty net, they look easy, don't they? But there was a defender coming across, and he needed to put it high. Otherwise, a defender could have cleared that away. And he found that top corner, and it was a good finish. But Jesus, what brilliant bit of play that was from him to create that goal. And Arsenal now coming forward again, looking for another one. Again, it's Jesus. Brilliant play from him inside the centre circle. Now Reece Nelson's got a run in. Reece Nelson, can he get himself a goal? He's inside the penalty area. Reece Nelson tries a shot. It's deflected just wide. Oh, he would have loved the goal, wouldn't he, Reece Nelson, tonight? Is this going to be the breakthrough year, the real breakthrough year for Reiss Nelson? In fact, that shot was probably on target, but for the deflection, he may well have got himself that goal there. But it is going to be a corner instead to Arsenal. And Fabio Vieira isn't going to take this one, actually. He's taken a few, but he's not taking that one. Just scored that last goal, didn't he, a few moments ago. He's going to be Reiss Nelson, actually, with his corner from his near side. Arsenal's left, he's going to swing it in with his right foot. Maybe he'll get himself an assist. He nearly got the goal just a moment ago. The corner now towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Header comes in. Oh, it's a good save. It was Gabriel with the header. Or did it just bounce over? He headed it down. It bounced up. Not sure whether the goalkeeper got a touch to that, actually. Gabriel headed it down. And I think it just bounced straight over the crossbar. The goalie had it covered anyway. But almost another goal there for Arsenal. Was it Tomiyasu maybe got the final touch? I'm not sure if he did. Anyway, Bodo are now going to make 3 more substitutions for these final 3 minutes to give 3 of their players the Emirates experience. John says, yeah, exactly. And that's what we were saying about Jesus. He gives great assists. No, he does, of course. He gives great assists. All our friends back as well. Like I said, if you want to advertise, just pay us and we'll let you. But yeah, he does. He adds that extra dimension, that final third, doesn't he? And that's what he just did there. Hoy Bratton's come on for Salverson's come on as well. Wasn't Salverson already on? Oh, no, he wasn't. No, Salverson. Lars Jorgen Salverson's come on. And I can't remember who else has come on, actually. But anyway, it doesn't matter. They've made their 3 substitutions now. That's all their 5 now, isn't it? Samsted's gone off, actually. The right back who we were saying that maybe was on a sort of shaky ground, really, wasn't he? Potentially getting a second yellow. But anyway, Arsenal nearly got a 4th goal there. Loader's gone off as well. And Hoy Bratton's come on for Bodo for these final few minutes. Arsenal coming forward again now. Martin Odegaard, Reiss Nelson again. He's done well, Reiss Nelson, actually, since he's come on. He's having another attack here down his near side. He's done well. Gone around the outside, cuts back in again. A nice cross towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Oh, he's going to come all the way across to the far post. Oh, Vieira was there again, but he couldn't quite get his shot away. And Bodo managed to clear it away. That was really good play from Reiss Nelson. He has looked lively since he's come on. He's had some good moments there, and Vieira was almost on the end of that cross there from Reiss Nelson at the far post. He couldn't quite get the finish. Bodo scrambled the ball away. We are now into the last minute of normal time. There'll be a bit of stoppage time. I think there's been a lot of substitutions, and now Rob Holding's gone down with what appears to be cramp potentially. Obviously, he's not played a lot of football, has he, this season, Rob Holding? And obviously having the extra hair on his head probably means he's got a little bit more to carry around. But he looks as though he's going to be okay now. A little bit of crap there for Rob Holding. Bodo have taken that throw now over on that far side, and they've just given it straight back to Arsenal. It's going to be another throw to Arsenal over on that far side now. We are deep into the final minute of the 90. We'll see exactly what the referee is going to add on. I reckon about 3 minutes, if I'm honest, just because the substitutions, there was a goal. There was only 1 minute in the first half. You don't tend to get as much stoppage time in Europe there as you do in the Premier League, actually. But anyway, Arsenal coming forward again, looking to get that 4th goal. Are we? Martin Odegaard battling away for the ball. He's done well. Reiss Nelson. Oh, no, the referee's given a free kick. So that attack comes to nothing. Good play, though, for Martin Odegaard. Battled away well there, and the referee felt a little bit illegally there. But anyway, and the ball went up. There is 3 minutes. There you go. And John says usually 3 minutes. No, it is. Yeah, it is usually 3 minutes in Europe, isn't it? And it is 3 minutes. So there you go. So we are now just into that now. These final 3 minutes of stoppage time. The game is won for Arsenal. The points are in the bag, and we are going to be tonight on top of Group A. Ahead of that trip next week to Bodo Glimt. But Reiss Nelson's picked up the ball now. He's running again at this Bodo defence. He's done well, Reiss Nelson. Does he find Jesus? No, he doesn't. The ball just ran away from there, actually. He maybe took a little bit too long to decide whether to pass to Jesus, go himself, and in the end, the ball ran away from him. And now Pellegrino's coming forward for Bodo. Are they going to get that consolation goal that their fans would enjoy? Played out to that far side. Cross comes in towards the near post. Matt Turner's lost it. He's going to be, good save from Turner, is it? Oh, it's cleared off the line by Rob Holding, and Bodo almost get their goal. You almost want them to score in a strange way, just for their fans, really. It would have been brilliant. And now, obviously, the goal at this stage isn't going to make any difference. But I'm sure Matt Turner wants a clean sheet. He didn't maybe get hold of the ball there. And when that shot came in, he made a good save. But the ball was going to loop into the net. But Holding was there behind him to complete the clearance. And he may well get his clean sheet after all. But those fans would have enjoyed that, wouldn't they, if Bodo had scored a goal, which would only be a consolation now. But they're coming forward again. They haven't given up all chance of getting a goal, but they are going to have to now because that ball's going to run through to Matt Turner. Their fans have got their scarves out again behind the goal, the Norwegians. But this was, we'll see that into the near post. It was good play actually there. Good save from Matt Turner. It was good reactions actually, and it did need Rob Holding though to come back and complete the clearance. He got it up into the air, Turner. He didn't quite manage to get it away, and Rob Holding was there to complete it to make sure the ball didn't go in. We're now a minute away from the end of this game. Gabriel Jesus again done really well down his near side. He's still going, Gabriel Jesus. He's going to get himself a solo goal. He finds Martin Ødegaard instead. Thought about a shot on the edge of the box. Instead, he's gone out to the far side to Bukayo Saka. Arsenal finishing quite strongly now as we're into the last minute of stoppage time. Ødegaard again plays the ball into the box to Reiss Nelson. Oh, the shot's blocked. I'm so desperate for Reiss Nelson to get himself a goal, actually. He still might. Vieira now running through. Oh, it's good defensive play there again from Bodo. And they're going to finish the game now with one last attack, are they? The Norwegians coming forward now down this near side with Solbecken, one of the substitutes. They've played well in spells in this game, actually, Bodo. They have done well. They just lack a little bit of extra quality needed to get a result against us tonight at the Emirates. But I say next week's going to be tough. But Vieira's won the ball back. And now we're coming forward again with Saka over on that far side. That's a poor touch, actually, from Saka. The ball's going to run back to the goalkeeper. And, in fact, there goes the full-time whistle. Arsenal have got the job done. We made hard work of that second half, actually, didn't we? It has finished here. Arsenal 3, Bodo Glimt 0. The job has been done in this game tonight. We are top of Group A in the Europa League. It was 2 goals in the first half. 23 minutes played. It was Eddie Nketiah. It was a shot actually from Kieran Tierney. He hit the inside of the post, and Eddie Nketiah followed up to tap home from about 8 yards to make it 1-0. 4 minutes later, it was a corner from Arsenal. Fabio Vieira thought he'd scored just before. It was a good save from the goalkeeper. It was his corner. It was headed out. It came back to Vieira. He whipped across it with his left foot. Rob Holding headed it into the bottom corner to make it 2-0 at half-time. Bodo had their moments, especially in the second half, actually. They really played well in the second half, Bodo. Matt Turner made a couple of really good saves to get his clean sheet. And then in the last few minutes, it was Fabio Vieira got the third goal. Really, really good play from Gabriel Jesus off the bench. Pulled the ball back, and Vieira fired into the roof of the net from about 6 yards to make it 3-0. And yeah, it was a good game. Bodo played well. We were maybe not at our best. A lot of changes, obviously, to the starting lineup, but some of the big guns came on towards the end, last 20 minutes. And it was one of them, of course, Jesus, who set up that last goal. John says there, good run out tonight for squad players. That's the difference with the way Arteta has built the team. Game against Liverpool is going to be so charged up. Oh, that's going to be amazing, isn't it? We're looking forward to that one on Sunday. Shane says, thanks, Rich. Great job again. Bye, lads in the chat. Hope to see John on the next stream. Yeah, so do I, yeah. Love this channel. The lads in the chat are brilliant. No, they are. You're right, Shane. And that includes you, mate, as well. You know, you're brilliant as well. We love you being in as well. Terry says, good win. That's the main thing. Won't be a walk in the return league. No, it certainly won't. I think Bodo are going to give us problems next week. And, you know, any result we get over there is going to be a good result. The Bodo fans have been amazing tonight, actually, with their yellow scarves they've got out again as they applaud their players, and the players come over and thank them and the manager as well. A good performance from them tonight. I'll say I was impressed with what Bodo produced tonight. They didn't sit back and defend. They came and played football, and they were unfortunate not to have got a goal or so in this game tonight. But we got the job done fairly comfortably, let's be honest, 3-0. But yeah, Bodo fans, it looks good, doesn't it? The yellow and black scarves, a bit like a Borussia Dortmund, aren't they? Actually, it looks a bit similar to them, but it was a good performance from Arsenal in the end. Got the job done, and as John rightly says, a good run out for some of these squad players who haven't been playing much in the Premier League. Vieira was probably the standout player tonight, wasn't he? Over the 90 minutes, I thought. Fabio Vieira, a goal and an assist for him. Good performance, and that will give him a lot more confidence as well. And hopefully, we will see him a bit more in the Premier League now. He's not played many minutes, has he, so far? for us in the Premier League. He got that good goal, of course, against Brentford, as we know, but hopefully we'll see a bit more of him in the next few games in the Premier League as well. John says there, thanks, Shane. Good night to you too. And yes, enjoyed the chat. Thanks, Richard. No problem at all. Better watch along than other channels. Well, thank you very much, mate. I'm glad that you found us, and I'm glad you've enjoyed it. And hopefully we'll see you again. I'm doing a watch along tomorrow, actually, on the channel with the England Lionesses against USA, the European champions against the world champions. That's going to be a great game. That kicks off at 8 o'clock, so we'll be going live about 10 to 8 for that tomorrow. I've got no prior engagements beforehand tomorrow, so that's fine. And then, of course, the big one Sunday, Arsenal against Liverpool. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Looking forward to this game so much. It's a real opportunity for Arsenal to put a real marker out there and say this team is serious this season. A lot of people said we haven't played anybody yet. We have. We've played 8 games in the Premier League. We played Premier League teams, let's be honest. And I think if we do beat Liverpool at the Emirates, and I think that will put any doubters behind. Yes, I still don't think we're going to win the league. I've got to be honest. I think that Man City are pretty much got it sewn up. Let's be honest, they're a great side, and they've got probably the greatest player in the world at the moment in playing for them, haven't they? So, but the top 4 was our aim at the start of the season, finishing the top 4, and the way this season is progressing at the moment, I'm really, really confident that we will finish in the top 4. Second, third, or fourth is there, isn't it? Does it matter which of those 3 positions that we come in? Probably not. The reward's the same, isn't it? Obviously, if we come second behind Man City, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? But it's very, very early. We're going to start seeing the squad now, aren't we? Because of the Europa League, the game being called off, now we're going to start seeing we've got 2 games a week. We're playing Sunday, Thursday now, aren't we? A lot of games to fit in before the World Cup. So the squad's going to be stretched, it's going to be tested, and we'll see exactly where we are. And hopefully, when we have the break for the World Cup, we'll have a lot more of a good idea about exactly where we are in terms of this group of players and this squad and where we can go. And I think that's when we'll know a lot more about it. But it's certainly going well at the minute. And Sunday is massive, isn't it? It really is. Tony says there, this is my go-to channel for watch-alongs from now on. Oh, thank you much, mate. Great to have you on board. Glad you're enjoying the show. We do lots of other stuff as well as the watch-alongs. But yeah, we've got 2 great watch-alongs this weekend. I say tomorrow, the England Lionesses. If you like your women's football, we do cover the Arsenal women a lot on this channel and also the Lionesses. So we'll be covering that game tomorrow. And of course, I say the big one Sunday, Liverpool visiting the Emirates. Wow, what a big game that's going to be. We haven't got a great record against Liverpool in recent years, have we? We know that. But this is a different Arsenal, isn't it? And let's be honest, it's a different Liverpool this season so far, isn't it? They've really not got going at all yet. They've got a few issues of their own, and this is maybe a good time to play us. A good time, for us to play them. When they aren't quite at their best. But they've started to show signs, haven't they? The way they came back against Brighton last weekend, and then obviously their Champions League game on Tuesday. They got a decent victory there against Rangers. Yes, it was Rangers, but is the Scottish League any weaker or stronger than the Norwegian League, the team we just played? Who knows? But we've won comfortably in the end. Liverpool won comfortably. It's just going to be a big game, isn't it? And these are the sort of games where, I'm excited to see how this team does, because it's these sort of games in the past, in recent years, where we have not been good enough. We've not been good enough to get the results that we've needed in those games. And this season so far, so good. Yes, the Man United result is still there, isn't it? A lot of people say the first big test away from home and we lost. We played well in that game. We know we played well and we should have got a result. But ultimately, we did lose the game. And if that was to happen again on Sunday, even if we played well but we lose the game, you've got to start thinking to yourself, why can't we get results in those games? But let's see what happens. If we're ever going to be able to beat Liverpool, then it's going to be this is a good time to play them, isn't it? So let's hope that we can do it, and let's hope that we can produce the result. John says that a wounded Liverpool team is a dangerous one. It is a dangerous one. I mean, we saw they lost to Manchester United, didn't they? And then they beat Bournemouth 9-0, didn't they? Straight after, and got their manager sacked. But they haven't really kicked on from that 9-0, have they? That to me has been a one-off for this season for Liverpool, hasn't it? Clearly. They've been very, very inconsistent. They've had a lot of their players haven't hit form yet. And it's going to be interesting on Sunday to see how they play as well, isn't it? As much as anything else, because they've been the team, haven't they? Them and Manchester City have been the 2 teams for the last, 3 or 4 years that they've been miles and miles ahead of everybody else. And it's up to us now to show that we can close that gap. You know, we've got an opportunity to get a big lead on Liverpool if we beat them. And yes, it's still very early in the season, but that would be I say it's a big statement. It's an opportunity for us to make a statement, isn't it, on Sunday? And that's what we need to do. We need to produce a performance and we need to get a result. And if we do both of those two things, I think more and more people will start to think, you know what, maybe this Arsenal team are onto something here. You know, it's been a long time coming, hasn't it? We've been patient, and we've had to wait, haven't we? We've had to bide our time, and it's been frustrating. Let's be honest. I haven't enjoyed a lot of the last 2 or 3 seasons, if I'm honest. I really haven't, and I haven't been convinced that Arteta was going to be able to turn things around. But at the moment, he is. Oh, look, we've got our friend back as well. Like I said, if you're going to pay me, you can advertise your shit. But if you're not, you can't. Terry says there, great commentary again, Richard. No, thank you very much, mate. Thanks for your support of the channel. You're just amazing. See you tomorrow. Have a good night to all in the chat. He says there, John, nice meeting you. Mate, hope to see you all again real soon. Come on, you guys. Subscribe and hit the like button before you go. Exactly, yeah. If you want to subscribe, please do so. We will much appreciate that. And give it a like as well. The other results tonight didn't. Oh no, of course the other didn't they play PSV and Zurich. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We won 3-0. We're top of the group. That's the main thing. John says, "Yeah, we've had our ups and downs, but that's football." Now, of course, it is. It is football, and you've seen a lot more ups and downs, haven't you? If you've been coming since 1971, you've seen a lot of ups and downs. And yeah, that is football. It is football, and that's the way it is. Of course, there wasn't any game tonight because Zurich have already played their 3 games, haven't they? So yeah. Obviously, Arsenal and PSV is a game in hand. We've got 6 points. PSV and Bodo have both got 4, and Zurich have got none. So we are top of the group going into that big game next week. But I mean, you've seen a lot of ups and downs, John, and I have as well. I suppose a lot more ups, if I'm honest. I suppose we all have, haven't we? The great times and stuff like that. But it's been a tough few years. It has been a tough few years, but it looks as though we are turning a corner. And it's still very early days. I don't want to get carried away. I know there's a few of us out there that think we can win the league or whatever, and fair play. But I'm not convinced that we can win the league. Nothing against our team or the way we're playing. It's just to do with the team that we've got to come up against. And yes, we are above Man City at the moment, but they haven't lost a game. They're playing really well, and you can see over 38 games with their squad, the experience that they've got of winning these big trophies. That I think our maximum over 38 games isn't going to be as good as their maximum, or they don't even need to reach their maximum. I don't think to finish top again. But we'll see. All we can do is give it a go, win as many games as we can, get as many points on the board, and see where we are when it comes down to it in April time. And if we're still there, who knows? You never know, dear. We've got Russ in the chat. Russ, good to see you, my friend. He said, "Well, yeah, I'm really good, mate. Obviously enjoying what's happening at Arsenal this season so far. It's been good, hasn't it? But I'm trying to keep my feet on the ground. I'm trying not to get carried away. Let's just enjoy the games at the moment while we're going well, and let's see where we go. But yeah, a good result tonight in the end against, I thought, a very, very decent Norwegian team there. Bodo Glimt, very well coached. They had a good game plan. They gave it a go. They gave it everything. They left everything out on that pitch tonight, and fair play to them for that. And their fans were incredible, weren't they? Really, really good. So yeah, it's going to be a good game next week, isn't it? The early one next Thursday. But of course, we've got the big one before that. We're Liverpool visiting the Emirates on Sunday. So please join me for that. It's good to see some new people as well tonight, John, and who was it, Tony as well tonight, joining us in the chat for the game. Brilliant to see you guys. Hopefully, we'll see you again. If you want to join us for the women's game tomorrow, please do so. Our England women against the USA. That's going to be a big game. We'll be doing a watchalong on that, and of course, Sunday. Please join us for that. 4:15. We'll be here. going live for that big watchdog. What a game that's going to be. I'm so excited about that game now. Really, really excited. It's going to be great stuff, isn't it? John says, I grew up in Dublin. We're in school. I was the only kid who supported Arsenal, as nearly everyone was United, Liverpool, and even Leeds. Oh, well, you're from Dublin, are you? Brilliant. We've got a few Irish fans have been come on the chat on the show a few times, so it's good to see you. So I mean, obviously we had a lot of Irish players, didn't we? Back in the 70s, playing in the team on a regular basis, didn't we? So, but yeah, fantastic. Good to have you on board, and we look forward to chatting to you again. Obviously, hopefully on Sunday. Which if you're tomorrow, I say if you want to join us for the women's game, the Lionesses, that's going to be a good game actually. It's a shame there's a few injuries, and Leah Williamson's out and stuff like that. And of course, Elisa Russo was brilliant, wasn't she, in the summer? So, but it should be a good game tomorrow in the Lionesses against America. We don't need to beat them, don't we? Let's be honest. No one likes the American women's team, do they? Let's be honest. So we need to beat them tomorrow. But yeah, that's a little bit something different that we're doing tomorrow night. I say ahead of the big game on Sunday. But yeah, it's finished here tonight at the Emirates. Maybe not quite as comfortable as the scoreline suggests, if we're honest. Bodo gave us one or two worries. In the end, it finished Arsenal 3, Bodo Glimt 0. It was Eddie Nketiah and Rob Holding in the first half, and then Fabio Vieira very late on sealed it with the third goal right at the end to make it 3-0. Good work from Gabriel Jesus, came off the bench and had a big impact, didn't he? As always, and that made it 3-0. Bodo played well. I have to say, I want to give Matt Turner some credit tonight as well. I was a little bit worried about him after that first game against Europe, but he was good tonight. I thought he had a solid game, made some good saves, and got his clean sheet as well. So well played to Matt Turner as well. I thought he was excellent tonight. Brilliant from him, and hopefully that will give him some confidence now, because he's going to play in his Europa League games, isn't it? Fair play to him. John says there, Staple and Brady O'Leary brothers. Yeah, of course, he's Pierce O'Leary as well, his brother, wasn't it? John Devine, all from Dublin. That's right. We had a lot back in their day, didn't we? Players who come from the Dublin area. So, I mean, Liam Brady, what a player he was. Frank Staple as well. Them leaving was bad, wasn't it? For us at the time. John says, what start to the season? Still only lost one. Yeah, we have. Yeah, is it 10 games now we've played? Isn't it? 9 wins and 1 defeat out of 10 games. Wow. I mean, that's as good a start to a season as we've had, isn't it? For a very, very long time. When you look at all competitions, even the Invincible team, we had a few draws early in the season, didn't we? We lost a couple of Champions League group games early on that season. So, as an overall start to a season, it's been brilliant. I'm still a little bit gutted at a Man United game now, because imagine if we were still unbeaten, and we should have been. Let's be honest. We shouldn't have lost that game, but we did, and that's the way it's gone. So it makes Sunday even more exciting, doesn't it? And important, because I say it's a big opportunity for us to really put a statement out there and say this Arsenal team need to be taken seriously now from everybody. From the Arsenal fans who've been doubters like me. I put my hands up and say, I've doubted whether Arteta will be able to turn this around. When things were bad, and a lot of these players have stepped up, haven't they? And really improved. Eddie Nketiah, who would have thought Eddie Nketiah would score the goals that he scored? We didn't think he would. Obviously, we spoke about Granit Xhaka plenty of times on the channel. What transformation we've seen from him. Although I always had faith in him, I've got to be honest. But it's good to see him consistently producing performance after performance, and and obviously the new players that's coming over last year or so. Odegaard's been brilliant, hasn't he? Jesus, we've said, Zinchenko as well. Vieira, wow, what a player he's going to be. Manquillos wasn't quite on it tonight, was he? And got taken off in the second half, but he'll improve. He'll get there. I'm sure he will. And of course, Martinelli, he's been fantastic as well this season, hasn't he? It's all falling into place a little bit, isn't it? And it's exciting, but we haven't achieved anything yet. So let's not get carried away. We were in a great position last season and couldn't get it over the line. We need to make sure this season finishes. We need to finish the season as we're starting it, don't we? And if we do that, we're going to have a great chance of achieving our goal, which is top 4. Let's be honest, it is top 4. Any more than that would be a massive, massive bonus, wouldn't it? Whether it's winning a trophy on top, but it's got to be top 4. It's got to be the minimum that we have this season. And if we do that, then we've achieved what we needed to achieve. I'd love us to win the Europa League. We haven't won enough European trophies, have we? Just 2 in our whole history. That's not enough for a club like Arsenal. We should have had a lot more European trophies, and this is a great opportunity for us to get one, isn't it? And let's hope that we can do it. Let's hope that we can win it. But yeah, the first job obviously is to get through the group. So far, 2 out of 2, top of the group. Tough game next week in Norway. We know it's going to be, but if we can get a good result there, then we're pretty much we're on the way, aren't we, to getting into that knockout stage? And who knows where we can go from there. So yeah, a good game tonight. Actually, it was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Bodo's performance as well. We're used to teams coming to the Emirates and sitting back and defending, aren't we? And the second half we were a little bit sloppy. We wasn't quite on it, but we got the job done. And ultimately, that's all that matters. All that matters. We won 3-0. And it was good to see Eddie get another goal and Vieira as well, Rob Holding. So great stuff from Arsenal tonight, a good victory. And we look forward now to a big game on Sunday. So thanks to all you guys for watching. Thanks to some of you new guys as well in the chat. Great to have you on board with the channel. Glad you're enjoying it. I look forward to seeing you again. If not tomorrow, then certainly on Sunday. That's the next 2 things that we've got coming up. Then, of course, next week, another busy week on the channel. Monday will be the Arsenal review. I'll be here with the guys looking back on this game, looking back at Liverpool, looking ahead, of course, to the second game against Bodo, the away game, and also, of course, Leeds away next weekend. That's going to be a big game as well. So lots coming up. That's on Monday. Tuesday, we should have the Arsenal Social Extra with Adam and Steve. That'll be their show on Tuesday. Next Wednesday is Highbury Matters with Melvin. He's got a great guest joining him. Russ is coming on. That's going to be a really good show. It's the early 70s we're up to now. So if, I know, John, that's your era. So if you want to watch that, that's on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. That's going to be really good. So join us for that show. Melvin, it's a brilliant show. Highbury Matters, that's going to be good. Of course, next Thursday, the Watchalong, Bodo, Glimt away from home. And then next weekend, we're back actually with a women's show on Friday. Next Friday, Arsenal women's show. The WSL's back again. Of course, next weekend, isn't it, with Arsenal playing away at Reading. We'll be covering that game as well. So yeah, loads and loads of great stuff to come. So please give it a like before you go if you've enjoyed the coverage tonight. And please also as well subscribe if you're new. And hopefully you join us tomorrow for the England Lionesses against USA. That's going to be a great game, actually. Going to really enjoy that. So join us for that at about 10 to 8. And then, of course, Sunday, 4:15, Arsenal-Liverpool. Big game. And if you missed the show last night, I had Paul Davis here. The very Arsenal legendary player Paul Davis joined me yesterday for a great chat about his career and his new book Arsenal and After. And if you didn't catch it yesterday, please check it out on the channel because that was great. Actually, it was an honour for me to speak to Paul Davis, one of my real first Arsenal heroes, and to get to chat to him yesterday on the show was brilliant. So if you haven't watched that yet, it's on the channel. You can check it out. It was a great show. He was a great guest. Brilliant stuff. And I'm hoping to get a few more some great players. Eddie McGoldrick was on the channel as well earlier this season, so check out that as well if you are new. John says there, thanks again, Richard, and hope channel grows as you deserve it. I'll tune in when I can. Brilliant. No, thank you very much, mate. Thanks for your kind words, and hopefully we'll see you soon. It'd be great to get you back with us and enjoying what we're doing. So that's it for tonight then. Arsenal won 3-0 against. I like Bodo. I enjoyed them. I enjoyed their fans. I enjoyed their kit. I enjoyed the way they played, and I enjoyed it even more because we won. So that's good. John says, "I missed that." Well, it's still on the channel. You can watch it. Just go into the channel. It's on there. In conversation with Paul Davis, the name of the show. If you get a chance, check it out. It was really good, and Paul was great. It was good to have him on. So yeah, if you do get a chance. Have a look at that one because it was enjoyable. Oh, look, here we go again. They're back. They are back. Anyway, right, so we'll get rid of all of that because we don't need it, do we? So that's us for tonight then. Thank you, I say, to everyone for watching. Thank you to all the guys in the chat as well for your comments. Brilliant from Arsenal tonight, a 3-0 victory. We look forward to Sunday now. So join me tomorrow if you can for the women's watch-along. That's going to be good as well. And in the meantime, of course, as always, we like to finish the same way, don't we? Come on, you gunners. Top of the Premier League, top of our Europa League group. What more can you want? It's October. Here we are, top of everything. It's brilliant, isn't it? So yeah, we're enjoying it at the minute, and we look forward to more great stuff coming up over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, see you tomorrow at 10 to 8 if you're around for the England game. If not, we'll see you Sunday, 4:15. Arsenal Liverpool. Let's do it. Come on, guys. 3-0 tonight. It was brilliant stuff. See you tomorrow if you're around. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will see you tomorrow. To Martinelli in the box, Gabriel Martinelli. It's now with Granit Xhaka. Is it going to be the third goal? It is the third goal. Granit Xhaka with it. That seals it.